Morning children. Today let us start Unit 4 Intellectual Awakening and Socio-Political Changes. Children, please take your book and underline wherever importance. Let us know the introduction. Last lesson we have studied about the Sangam age in Tamil Nadu, isn't it? Now today let us know about the new intellectual awakening in North India as well as the other world countries. A new civilization began to develop in northern India with the revival of trade and urbanization during the 6th century BC. So 6th century there was a new awakening all over the world countries including India. In this period of major political and social changes in North India, Buddha and Mahavira were born. In the century following their death, Buddhism and Jainism took root as major religions in India. We are going to study about the religions of the 6th century, new awakening. This meant that new religious orders were coming up with many followers, propagating new beliefs and new philosophies. Before that, people worshipped, they lived as they liked. But after 6th century, there was enormous changes in the political as well as the social condition of the world countries. Similarly, Zoroastrianism in Persia. Which countries are called Persia? Arabian countries, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia and all Persian countries. And Confucianism and Confucius policy, Confucianism and Laot's policy, Taoism in China became popular during this period. Now, religion in the 6th century BC, the new civilizations that emerged in the new Iron Age had certain common features. New civilization, that is new Iron Age, had certain common characters. They were characterized by the proliferation of new crafts, growth of long distance trade, building of cities and towns, rise of universalistic religion, and the evaluation of code of conduct. People started to believe new ethic, new moral, new code of conduct, new character. 6th century BC was therefore a period of exceptional development in all spheres of life such as material, cultural and intellectual. About this time, we find that a number of prominent men, great thinkers, founders of new religions lived, making it a period of great historical importance, like Buddha, Mahavira, then Confucius, Mencius. Likewise, the great thinkers of the world countries made excellent changes in the people's mind. Then philosophical and religious thinkers such as Confucius in China, Zoroaster in Iran and Mahavira and Buddha in India gained popularity in the 6th century BC. Okay, now let us know about Confucianism and Taoism. Laot's policy, Taoism. In the 6th century BC, two great thinkers were born in China. Underline Confucius and Laot's. They laid down the systems of morals and social behaviors for individuals and communities. But after their death, temples were built in their memory and the philosophy and what they taught was developed into a religion known as Confucianism and Taoism respectively. Their books were held in a great reverence in China. Confucianism exerted a big influence on not only the political class of China but also on the common people also. So, Confucius and Laot's influenced common people, not only common people. So, if they influence the common people means automatically the society would have also transferred, isn't it? Okay. Now, Let us know about Confucius. He was born in Shantung Peninsula, province of China, in 551 BC. He studied history, poetry, philosophy, and music. He is the author of 5 important books. The Book of Records, mark it, which is chiefly ethical in character, providing guidelines for the people, the regulation of the society, how to live in the society. Next book, the Book of Arts, that illustrate the sound principles of morality in songs. Understood? The Book of Arts illustrating the sound principles of morality in songs. Next book, the Book of Changes, dealing with metaphysics. Next, fourth one, the Spring and Autumn Annals, the Code of Political Morality. அரசியல்வாதிகள் எப்படி இருக்கணும், எப்படி ஆட்சி நடத்தணும் அப்படின்றத the Spring and Autumn Annals, Code of Political Morality. The next last book is the Book of History, narrating the events and legends of the early religions in China. So, all the 5 books were written by Confucius. After his death, people started to study all these books, and they started the morals, the ethic, the character, good character of their society. Okay, next let us know about the 5 Okay, now let us know about Jaina Mahavira birth and life. Mahavira, Vardhamana Mahavira was born in 599 BC in Gundagrama near Vaishali. His mother was Trishala. Underline children, Vaishali, Trishala, Amma peru Trishala. She was a Lichavi princess, queen. He spent his early life as a prince and was married. Mahavira also spent his early life as a prince and married to a princess named Yashoda. Underline. Trishala, Yashoda. The couple had a daughter. At the age of 30, he left his home and became an ascetic. Ascetic na yaru? Munivar, sannyasi. For over 12 years, Mahavira wandered from place to place. அலைஞ்சு திரிகிறார். காடுகள், மலைகள், கோயில் இருக்க இடங்கள்ல எல்லாம் என்ன செய்கிறாரு? அலைஞ்சு திரிகிறாரு. Subjecting himself to severe penance. கடும் தவம் செய்கிறார். தன்னைத்தானே வர்த்திக்கிறார். And self-mortification. In the 13th year of his asceticism, he acquired the highest knowledge and came to be known as Jaina. Jaina means the conqueror. And Mahavira, the great hero of the people. Jains believed that Mahavira came in a long line of Tirthankaras and he was the 24th and the last of them. Why? Because these lines are saying before the birth of Mahavira itself, there was a before Vedic religion, the Jainism was there, and Mahavira was the last Tirthankara. And he was the 24th and the last Rishabha, underline. Mahavira was the 24th Tirthankara and Rishabha was the first, according to the evidence, first Tirthankara, and Parshvanath was the penultimate 23rd Tirthankara. So before Mahavira, Parshvanath was the Tirthankara. Tirthankarana yarana in the religion oda leaders madri. Okay. Mahavira traveled extensively as a preacher in the kingdoms of Magadha, Videda and Anga. Magadha rulers Bimbisara and Ajatasattu were influenced by his teachings. Thousands of people became his followers. After 30 years of preaching, Mahavira died at Pavapuri in 527 at the age of 72 in now the Pavapuri is in Karnataka. Okay children, he died at the age of 72. Okay, now the statue of Pavapuri known as Gomadeshwara, it is 57 feet at the Shravanabelagola in Karnataka, is the tallest Jaina statue ever carved out in India. Okay children, now let us know about the teachings of Mahavira. The three principles of Jainism, also known as three Ratnas. The principles or the teachings of Mahavira is known as three Ratnas. What are the three Ratnas? Right faith, right knowledge and right action. Mark this as a short answer. What are the teachings of Mahavira? Three Ratnas. The three principles are three Ratnas: right faith, right knowledge and right action. Right faith, believe in the teachings and wisdom of Mahavira. Faith, நம்பிக்கை, மகாவீரருடைய டீச்சிங்ஸை நம்புறது. Right knowledge, acceptance of theory that there is no God and that the world existed without a creator. That is right knowledge. Right action refers to the Mahavira's observance of the five great vows: ahimsa, honesty, kindness, truthfulness and not coveting. மற்றவங்களோடது என்ன செய்யக்கூடாது, எடுத்துக்கக்கூடாது. ஆர் desiring things belonging to others. Coveting, desiring things belonging to others. These are the principles of or teachings of Mahavira. Next, spread of Jainism. In order to spread his new faith, Mahavira founded monasteries. The Jaina monks who led a very austere life. Austere life na உலக வாழ்க்கையை திறந்த சந்நியாச வாழ்க்கை. In North India, this new faith was patronized by rulers such as Dhanananda, ruler Chandragupta Maurya and Karavela of Kalinga. There was a notable followers of Jainism in Karnataka and Western India during the 4th century. Jainism encouraged the public spirit among all who embraced it. Varna system practiced by Brahmins was challenged. இந்த பிராமினோட வார்னா சிஸ்டத்துக்கு அகெயின்ஸ்ட் தான் ஜெயினிசம். People were spread from the costly and elaborate rituals and sacrifices. People were spared from the costly, Brahmins பண்ணக்கூடிய காஸ்ட்லி அண்ட் எலாபரேட் ரிச்சுவல் சடங்குகள், சாக்ரிஃபைஸ், வெட்டுறது, ஆடு மாடுகளை கொலை பண்ணுறது, பலி கொடுக்கறது, இதிலிருந்து மக்கள் என்ன செய்கிறாங்க, ஒதுங்கி இந்த ஜெயினிசத்தை ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறாங்க. And animate, Mahavira believed that all objects, both animate as well as inanimate, have souls. எல்லாத்துக்குமே என்ன இருக்குது, சோல்ஸ் இருக்குது. And various degrees of consciousness. They possess life and feel pain when they are injured. Now, after the death of Mahavira, there was a split, division in the Jainism. Jainism was divided into Digambras and Swaptambras அப்படின்னு ரெண்டா பிரியுது. Digambras, in course of time, Jainism split into two branches, namely Digambras, sky clad, and the Swaptambras, white clad. Let us see in deeply what are the two system, Digambras and Swaptambras. Underline Digambras and Swaptambras. Was deeply moved by these sights. Swaptambras, sorry. Okay children, next let us know about decline of Jainism. The lack of royal patronage, its severity, factionalism, spread of Buddhism led to the decline of Jainism in India. What are the matters led to the decline of Jainism in India? The birth of Buddhism and its severity, lack of royal patronage. அப்படின்னா அரசர்கள் என்ன செய்யலை, ஜெயினிசத்தை பின்னாடி வந்தவங்கெல்லாம் ஆதரிக்கல. Severity and then factionalism and the spread of Buddhism led to the decline of Jainism in India. Okay, Jaina Kanchi. Jainism was one of the major faiths in the Tamil region during the 7th century. The Pallava king Mahendravarman, underline children, was a Jain. Under the influence of Upper படிச்சிருப்பீங்க தமிழில். அப்பர் சுந்தரர். Upper got converted to Saivism. Close to the present town of Kanchi, there is a place called Jaina Kanchi where you find many Jain temples. One of the important temple is the Tiruparuthi Kundram temple. Tiruparuthi Kundram temple, where the ceiling is painted with a life story of Mahaveerar. Underline children, Tiruparuthi Kundram. Okay, that's all about Mahavira and Jainism. Now let us know about Buddhism. Gautama Buddha. Gautama Buddha was the son of Suddhodana. Underline. Gautama Buddha was the son of Suddhodana, the chief of a Kshatriya clan of the Sakyas of Kapilavastu. Kapilavastu present day Nepal இருக்கிற இடத்துல தான் இவர் பிறந்தார். So his given name was Siddhartha. Father was Suddhodana. His given name Siddhartha. As he belonged to the Sakya clan, he was also known as Sakya Munivar. He was born in 567 BC in Lumbini Garden. Underline. Near Kapilavastu. His mother Maya Devi, Maha Maya அப்படின்னு ஊரில் கூப்பிடுவாங்களா இருக்கும், died after a few days of his birth and he was brought up by his stepmother. In order to divert his attention towards worldly affairs, his father got him married at the age of 16 to a princess called Yashodhara. Underline children. He led a happy married life for some time and had a son by name Rahula. So Gautama Buddha's original name Siddhartha, his wife Yashodhara, his son name Rahula or Rahul. One evening, while Siddhartha was passing through the city, he came across an old man who had been abandoned by his relatives, a sick man carrying with pain and a dead body surrounded by weeping relatives. Siddhartha was deeply moved by these sights. அரண்மனையை விட்டு ஒரு நாள் வெளியே வந்து என்னெல்லாம் பார்க்குறாரு, வயசானவங்க அது வரைக்கும் அவர் பார்த்ததே இல்லை இதெல்லாம், இந்த காட்சிகள். வாட் ஆர் தே? எ சிக் மேன் crying with pain, a dead body surrounded by weeping relatives, and a old man who had been abandoned by his relatives. These three kinds of people first time he was seeing, and he was deeply moved by these sights. He also saw an ascetic who had renounced the world and found no sign of sorrows. These four great sights prompted him to renounce the world and search for the cause of suffering. So he wanted, இந்த கஷ்டங்களுக்கெல்லாம் காரணம் என்ன அப்படின்றத கண்டுபிடிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறார். He left his, in 537 BC, he left his palace and went into the forest in search of truth. In the course of his wanderings, he sat under a peepal tree for several days until he attained enlightenment. The place where he attained enlightenment ஞானம் கிடைக்கிறது. இந்த மகாபோதி டெம்பிள் still exists in Bodh Gaya, பீகாரில் மகாபோதி டெம்பிள் அப்படின்ற டெம்பிள் இருக்குது. அங்கே தான் அவருக்கு என்ன கிடச்சது? ஞானம் கிடச்சது, ஒரு அரச மரத்தடியில். After his enlightenment, Buddha decided to impart his knowledge to the people. அவருடைய அறிவை, அவருக்கு கிடைச்ச ஞானத்தை மக்களுக்கு கொடுக்கறதுக்காக என்ன செய்கிறாரு? He went to Varanasi and he gave his first sermon, underline, at Saranath. He preached in the kingdoms of Magadha and Kosala. A large number of people became his followers, including his own family. After 45 years of preaching, he breathed his last in 487 BC at Kushinagar near Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh at the age of 80. Okay children, now let us know about teachings of Buddhism. There is suffering and sorrows in the world. அவர் பார்த்த காட்சிகளை வச்சு உலகத்தில் முதல்ல அரசர் பேலஸில் இருந்தப்போ அவருக்கு ஒன்றுமே தெரில, நல்லா ஹாப்பியாக சந்தோஷமாக அவரை தாங்கிறதுக்கு 1000 பேர் இருந்திருப்பாங்க. பட் வெளியில் வந்து பார்க்கும்போது தான் உலகத்தில் நிறைய கஷ்டங்கள் துன்பங்கள் இருக்கிறத பார்க்குறாரு. ஸோ அவருடைய டீச்சிங்கும் அதே மாதிரி இருக்கு. There is suffering and sorrows in this world. The cause of human suffering is desire and craving. துன்பத்துக்கெல்லாம் காரணம், மனுஷனுடைய துன்பத்துக்கு காரணம் அவங்களுடைய பேராசை தான். This pain of sorrow can be removed by suppressing desire. அடக்கிறது, ஆசைகளையும் அபகரிக்கிறதையும், கிராவிங் என்ன செய்கிறது, அடக்கிறது. This is to be achieved by leading a disciplined life or by following Buddha called the Noble Eightfold Path. Mahavira gave us 3 ratnas: right belief, right faith and right knowledge. This Buddha gave eightfold path. What are the eightfold path? Okay, let us go next. According to that, attainment of nirvana. According to Buddha, a person should aim at attainment of nirvana or the highest bliss. நிர்வாணம் அடையணும் அப்படின்றத புத்தா ப்ரீச் பண்ணுறாரு. தன்னையே மறந்துடுறது. And it could be achieved by any person by leading a virtuous life and by following the Noble Eightfold Path. எப்படி நிர்வாணா, அட்டைன்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் நிர்வாணா எப்படி கிடைக்கும் அப்படின்னா by following the Eightfold Path அப்படின்னு he preached. The Noble Eightfold Path. Buddha preached a new path to attain the purest state of mind. மைண்ட் எப்படி இருக்கணும், பியூரஸ்டாக இருக்கணும். How? Right views, right aspiration, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindedfulness and right contemplations or meditation. Contemplation means meditation. எல்லாமே எப்படி இருக்கணும், ரைட்டான வழியில் இருக்கணும். திங்கிங், பேசுகிறது, நடத்துறது, நம்மளுடைய ஆக்ஷன்ஸ் எல்லாமே எப்படி இருக்கணும், ரைட் வேல இருக்கணும். அப்போ தான் நம்ம என்ன செய்ய முடியும், we can attain nirvana. Spread of Buddhism. Buddha, in order to carry his message to different parts of India, established the Buddhist Sangam, holy order or monks. The bhikkhus, யார் நம்ம ஜெயினிசத்தில் என்ன படித்தோம், திருத்தாங்காராசன் படிச்சிடும். இங்கே என்ன, புத்திசத்தில் பிக்கூஸ், மாங்ஸ். And the bhikkhus were enlisted nuns, enlisted for spreading the faith, and they were required to lead a life of purity and poverty. Buddhism spread to Central Asia, Sri Lanka, Tibet, Southeast Asia, as well as the eastern countries of China, Mongolia, Korea, Japan and Vietnam. Mark it, the children, all these areas. Now, likewise, Jainism, Buddhism also divided into two. During the period of Kanishka ruled, isn't it? During the period of Kanishka as a ruler, Buddhist monk Nagarjuna initiated many reforms. அந்த புத்திசத்தில் நிறைய ஒரு புத்திஸ்ட் மாங் இல்லையே, அவர் பேர் என்ன, நாகார்ஜுனா, நிறைய சீர்திருத்தங்களை கொண்டு வராரு, ரிஃபார்ம்ஸ். In the way of Buddhism was being followed. As a result, அதனால் நிறைய பேர் ஃபாலோ பண்ணுவாங்க, நிறைய பேர் ஃபாலோ பண்ண மாட்டேன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ Buddhism was splitted into two as Hinayana and Mahayana. Jainism splitted into Digambaras and Septambras. Buddhism splitted into Hinayana Buddhism and Mahayana Buddhism. What is that Hinayana Buddhism? Hinayana was the original creed preached by Buddha. The followers of this form regarded Buddha as their guru and did not worship him as God. புத்தர் ஒரு குரு தான், அவர் கடவுள் கிடையாது அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. They denied idol worship and continued with the people's language, Pali language. அவங்களுடைய பாலி லாங்குவேஜ், நார்த் இந்தியா இன்டீரியரில் இன்னும் அந்த பாலி லாங்குவேஜ் we have studied earlier. அங்கே பேசக்கூடிய லாங்குவேஜ்லேயே மக்களுக்கு இந்த ஹீனயான புத்திசத்தை பற்றி ப்ரீச் பண்ணுறாங்க. When Buddhist closest disciple Ananda asked Buddha whether women can become monks, Buddha said, yes, if women can follow the path of reunification, they can become monks and completely enlightened just as men. சொல்றார், women also can be a monk. Then now Mahayana Buddhism. Buddha was worshipped as a god. முதல்ல ஹீனயானத்தில் புத்தா ஒரு ப்ரீச்சர் தான் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் மகாயானத்தில் புத்தா worshipped as a god and Bodhisattva as his previous avatar. புத்தரை கடவுளாகவும் போதிசத்துவரை அவருடைய அவதாரம் அப்படின்னும் இதில் என்ன சொல்கிறாங்க, மகாயானத்தில் ப்ரீச் பண்ணுறாங்க. த ஃபாலோவர்ஸ் மேட் இமேஜஸ் அண்ட் ஸ்டாச்சூஸ் of Buddha and Bodhisattva and offered prayers and recited hymns. Hymns means mandrangal in their praise. Later, they wrote their religious books in Sanskrit. This form of Buddhism was patronized by Kanishka. Kanishka, the ruler, followed Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, decline of Buddhism. Buddhism declined in India due to the following reasons. Buddhism was popular in the beginning because it was preached in people's language. People understood everything. Later it was written in Sanskrit language, so which was difficult for the common people to understand. So the decline of Buddhism, first reason was religion. Okay children, they changed the Pali religion into Sanskrit. பாலி ரிலீஜனில் ப்ரீச் பண்ணுறத சான்ஸ்கிரிட்டாக மாற்றிட்டாங்க, மக்களுக்கு புரியலை, அது ஒரு காரணம். தென் ஸ்பிளிட் இன் புத்திசம், ஹீனயானம் மகாயானம்னு ஸ்பிளிட் ஆனது. தேர்ட் ஒன், புத்திசம் லாஸ்ட் இஸ் ராயல் பேட்ரனேஜ் டூரிங் த பீரியட் ஆஃப் குப்தர்கள் ஆட்சி காலத்தில் அரசர்கள் இதை என்ன செய்யலை, பேட்ரனைஸ் பண்ணலை, ப்ரீச் பண்ணலை, அதை பரப்பலை. ஃபர்தர் த இன்வேஷன்ஸ் ஆஃப் த ஹான்ஸ் அண்ட் டர்க்ஸ் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் வைப்ட் ஆஃப் புத்திசம். துருக்கியர்களும் ஹன்ஸும் இந்தியாவை கேப்சர் பண்ணும்போது அவங்க என்ன செய்கிறாங்க, இந்த புத்திசத்தை பற்றி மக்களுக்கு எடுத்து சொல்லவே இல்லை. பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் தீஸ் ரீசன்ஸ் புத்திசம் declined. Buddhism declined. Okay children, next let us know about other heterodox sect, other religion. Ajivika, the period that produced Buddhism and Jainism, also witnessed the birth of sect known as Ajivika. Its founder was Gosala, a friend of Mahavira. மகாவீராவோட ஃப்ரெண்டை என்ன செய்கிறாரு, புதுசாக ஒரு ரிலீஜனை ஆரம்பிக்கிறாரு. என்ன பேர் அவரோட பேர்? அஜ்வைக்கா. ரிலீஜன் இஸ் அஜ்வைக்கா அண்டு கோசலா. ஃபவுண்டர் யார்? கோசலா. அண்டர்லைன் Mahavira. For some time they were together. Later Gosala moved away and founded the Ajvaikas as an aesthetic sect. Ajvaika rejected the karma theory, which postulated that the condition of men is indetermined by their past action. இவர் என்ன சொல்கிறார் அப்படின்னா, இவருடைய ரிலீஜனில் மனுஷங்க இப்போ என்ன ஆக்ஷனில் இருக்கிறோமோ அது அவங்க முன்னாடி காலத்தில் செஞ்ச அந்த பாஸ்ட் ஆக்ஷன் தான் அதுக்கு காரணம் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாரு. கோசலா ஆர்கியூட் தட் ஆக்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் சேரிட்டி அண்ட் பிட்டி கேன் இன் நோ வே இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் திஸ் ஃபினாலிட்டி. சேரிட்டி, இவரும் என்ன போதிக்கிறாரு, மனுஷங்க எப்படி இருக்கணும், சேரிட்டியோடு வாழணும். Then Ajvaika had a small presence in southern India under the Cholas. A special tax was levied on them. 3 Tamil texts, the Manimekalai, Buddhist, the Nilakesi of Jains, and the Siva Nasidiyar of Saivites contain the outlines of, underline children, these 3 books, Manimekalai and Nilakesi and Siva Jnana Siddhayar of Saivites contain the outlines of Ajvaika doctrine. Now let us know Jnana Sanghas. There were 2 distinct forms of government at the time of Mahavira and Buddha. Monarchical kingdom and clan oligarchies of Jnana Sanghas. The Jnana Sanghas provided a polity alternative to the kingdoms. Vedic rituals and the rules of Varna were not followed. ஞான சங்காஸ் கொஞ்ச நாள் என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, they ruled the country. Group of people அவங்களும் என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, ஒரு புதுசாக ஒரு ரிலீஜியன்ஸ் அவங்க ஃபாலோ பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, Vedic rituals. And Jnana Sanghas provided polity alternative to the kingdoms. Vedic rituals and the rules of Varna were not followed. The Jnana Sanghas consisted of either a single clan such as Kshatriyas, Koliyas and Mallas, or a confederacy of clans such as the Vijjis and Vishnis, a confederacy located at Vaishali. The Jnana Sanghas had only 2 strata. One is Kshatriya Rajakula, ruling families, and the Dasa Karmakara. These are the 2 families. They slaves and laborers. Rise of kingdoms. The 6th century BC witnessed the establishment of kingdoms, oligarchies, ruling by group of people, oligarchies, chiefdoms as well as the emergence of towns. From the largest of the chiefdoms emerged kingdoms. Many tribes of Rig-Vedic period such as Bharadas, Pasas, Trisas and Turvasas passed, underline children, into oblivion and new tribes such as Kurus and Panchalas rose into prominence. 16 Mahajanapadas, 16 Mahajanapadas are listed in the Buddhist books. Text means books. Next. Linguistic and cultural commonality prevailed in the Janapadas, whereas in the Mahajanapadas, different social and cultural groups lived. With the emergence of kingdoms, the struggle for supremacy among different states occurred frequently. Sacrifices such as Rajasuya Yagam, Ashwamedha Yagam Bali Kudukurathu, sacrifices, underline Rajasuya and Ashwamedha were performed to signify the imperial sway, sway means rule of monarchy over their rivals. The Rig-Vedic title of Rajan was replaced by impressive titles such as Samrat. ராஜன் அப்படின்றது எதில் இருந்தது? பிராமணாஸோட ப்ராக்டிஸில் இருந்தது. இப்போ அதை எப்படி மாற்றுறாங்க? சாம்ராட், எக்ராட், வீராட் அண்டு போஜா. அண்டர்லைன் சாம்ராட், எக்ராட், வீராட் அண்டு போஜா. Northern India extended from the Kabul Valley in the north to the Godavari in south. It witnessed the rise of 16 states known as Mahajanapadas or 16 great states. What are the 16 states Mahajanapadas? Mark it children for 2. Kasi, Kosala, Anga, Magadha, Vanji, Malla, Chedi, Vatsa, Kuru, Panchala, Matsya, Surasena, Asaka, Avandi, Kandara and Kamboja. These are the 16 Mahajanapadas. Okay children. Now let us know the growth of royal power. The king enjoyed absolute power. The Sabha of the Rig-Vedic period ceased to exist. The king sought the aid and support of the Samidhi on matters like war, peace and fiscal policies. Underline. However, in spite of the existence of assemblies, the power of the king kept increasing. Satapatha Brahmana describes the king as infallible and immune from all punishment. அரசன் என்ன தப்பு செஞ்சாலும் அவருக்கு என்ன கிடையாது? எக்ஸப்ஷன். The growth of royal power was reflected in the enlarged administrative structure. The king was now assisted by a group of officers such as Bugaduga, collector of taxes. Bugaduga, underline, collector of taxes. Sutta, charioteer, இந்த chariot எல்லாம் ஓட்டுறவங்க. Then Aksharappa, superintendent of gambling. Shatri, in the Shatri, chamberlain. Gorikattama, king's companion in the chase. Pologola, takshan, carpenter. The Rattakara, chariot maker. In addition, there were ecclesiastical and military officials like Prohida and Senai, army general, and the Gramini, leader of the village. In the later, underline children all these things, in the later Vedic period, Gramini, who acted both the civil and military officer, was the link through which the royal authority was enforced in the village. The king administered justice and occasionally delegated his judicial power to Adhyakas, royal officials. Adhyakas means royal officials. In the village, Gramavadin, அதாவது village judge, Gramiyavadin, village judge, and Sabha, court. Sabha means court, decided the cases. Punishments for crimes were severe. The rise of Magadha kingdom. Polity followed in kingdoms was different from the Afghana Sanghas. That of Afghana Sanghas. Kingdoms operated with a centralized government. Political power was concentrated in the ruling family, which had become a dynasty, with succession becoming hereditary. There were advisory bodies such as Parishad, ministers, and Sabha, advisory council. The Sabha collected the revenue and remitted it to the treasury in the capital of the kingdom. From there, where it was redistributed for the public expenses such as maintenance of army and salary to state officials. Of the kingdoms mentioned in the literature of the period, Kashi, Kosala and Magadha, these three countries are considered to be powerful. The only republic that revived these kingdoms was Birjis, whose capital was Vaishali. In the struggle for control for the Gangetic plain, which had strategic and economic advantages of Magadha kingdom, emerged victorious. Bimbisara underline was the first important king of Magadha. Through matrimonial alliances, Tirumana alliances with the high status Lichavi clan of Vaishali and ruling family Kosala, Bimbisara went on conquer Anga, thereby gaining access to the Ganges delta. Bimbisara succeeded in establishing a comprehensive structure of administration. Village was basic unit of his administrative system. Apart from villages, there were fields and pastures as well as wasteland and the forest. Each village was brought under the Gramini, who was responsible for collecting taxes and remitting them to state treasury. Officers appointed to measure the land and cultivation and assess the value of crop were assist the Gramini in his task. Land tax, Bali, was the main source of revenue to the kingdom, and the share of the produce was determined proportionate to the extent of land cultivated. The term Shadagain, one who is entitled to a share of 1/6, referred to the king. Thus, a peasant economy came into being at Magadha. Iron plough agriculture led to the rise of empires, Assyrian in Iran and Magadha in India. Okay, children, let us stop this with the next class. Let us continue. Okay, children.